Exercise your creative control tonight with Duluth potter Dave Lynas and live music by the Mark Anderson Trio.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
His jazz compositions slide between energetic and cool. Tonight, Mark Anderson and his comrades bring their considerable talent to the playlist for an in-studio performance. Gentlemen, the floor is yours. We'll hear more music from the Mark Anderson Trio and have a conversation with Mark in just a few minutes. But now let's get to know Dave Lynas. He's one of the founders of Duluth's Empty Bowl Project and an accomplished potter. We found him in the clay studio as usual at the Duluth Art Institute.
So this looks like a candidate. Today we're loading the gas kiln for the Empty Bowl project. We do dedicate 6 kilns to it each year for quite a few years now, and this is number 4 for this year.
All these crazy potters with dirt basically, and made bowls, and people came and they still come and take bowls away, and it goes to a really good cause too.
In this kiln primarily it's work from Lynas and her family doing decorating, and a few of mine, and a lot of the other denizens of our studio. I'm Dave Lynas, and I do ceramics, pottery primarily. I can feel there's lumps and bumps in this piece of clay, but luckily enough, bowls don't have to be perfect and symmetrical. And kind of nice if they aren't, because they're more handmade. For me, it was a personal discovery, one little step at a time. And it took many steps, many pots before I got the result.
He usually does the paintings, the Shino paintings, and lately he's been doing a lot of the fish.
I love painting, and that was my major in art school, was painting. And I did a lot of illustrating and using those skills in my career. But as far as clay goes, this is a little trickier. You don't see what you're going to get until the kiln opening happens. So you're in process along with Mother Nature to do these things.
He's got a lot of years of experience behind him, yeah. And you can tell that he really enjoys it still. That love is there, that interest, that caring.
You need a weep hole in a teapot lid, someplace for the steam to come out so when you pour it, it doesn't chug. And with a chimney in, the hole pokes right through the chimney down to the inside of it, so that when you pour boiling water in to steep your tea, why a little curl of steam will come out of the chimney. That just tickles me that it does that. I made a whole bunch of them. So I'll forever make little cabin scenes and things like that on my work. It's nostalgia for me. Working in this line of development, why it leads me where it leads me. I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't want to know. Because that's what's really the funnest of all, is to make something that nobody's ever seen before, myself included.
Good. It looks like they got cooked.
Yeah, looks good.
It looks like they got cooked.
It's really exciting, especially when it's good firing, and we've been blessed with having mostly good firings from the get-go with that kiln.
Oh, look at this one.
Some beautiful pieces, a lot of different people with different work in there, so it's fun to see the variety.
It's all nice toasty results. You can almost see the heat in the kiln just sitting on the table. An iridescence about it, and all of these lovely Shino colors of warmth. I look for that. That's what I'm hoping for. A lot of people nowadays don't have any real ceramics in their house. They don't even know particularly what it is. So this process of doing Empty Bowl often puts these in people's homes that wouldn't normally have them there. And sometimes they fall in love with this stuff and start to crave it, and that's what we hope for.
Well, Dave is the manager of the ceramic studio at the Art Institute, and he coordinates many of the community bowl making events, with a little help, of course. Shannon Kuzno is right there in the Lincoln building as well, and Shannon, the Duluth Art Institute puts a lot into the Empty Bowl project.
Yes, it really starts in January for us. January through April, we are in mega bowl production mode, and so we have our artists in the clay studio themselves that contribute to the bowls, and I think we made about 500 to 600 bowls the past couple months. And then we have our community lessons for adults that have no idea what they're doing, and we provide an evening lesson for anybody, even if they've never touched clay before, or the last thing that they made was an ashtray in kindergarten, you know, back in the day.
What I like is you also let people come in and do some of the glazing. So even if I can't throw a bowl, I can.
Everybody can throw a bowl with a little help.
Okay, not yet.
Yeah. But yes, no, we do have opportunities to come and paint the bowls, and so if you're more of an illustrator, you can come in and do that. And so it's been a really wonderful gateway for people to come to the Duluth Art Institute, experience art for their first time, maybe in a long time, and then they discover that they have it inside them.
And tell me a little bit about the outreach work, because it's not just people who come to you.
Right,
you also...
no. I mean, we do have people that inquire, but I work a lot with community groups in Duluth and the greater area, and especially this year I had twice as many. I think I reached about 200 people. And what's really great about Empty Bowl is that the materials are donated. So the clay is donated, it's free to these community groups that don't normally have a budget for art programming. So I worked a lot with Interim Healthcare, Choice Unlimited, TLC Group Homes of Duluth, and the 4th through 8th graders at St. James School, all 4th through 8th grades, and Girl Scout groups. It's been a really wonderful experience.
You know, for just a second, we should back up and explain what Empty Bowl really is. Just if you've never heard of it, tell me about kind of what it is.
Well, Empty Bowl is a fundraiser for the Second Harvest Northern Lakes Food Bank, and we have, you know, professional artists, community members, kids, school kids all through Duluth. They make handmade bowls, and for one day at the depot, it's next Tuesday, April 26th. You can come for $15 and pick out a handmade bowl. It's, you know, you can walk away with a funny little kid's bowl. I love those. Those are my favorite. But or walk away with a professional handmade bowl, and then you have soup and bread, and all of the money goes to the food bank to help feed hungry families in the Northland. And it's wide-reaching, and it's all over the Northland.
Yeah, which is a fantastic project. And what I think is neat, too, is it's kind of that entryway into not only doing something for the community, but through the art programs and the education piece that the Art Institute does. Shannon is the education director, and I know that you reach, you know, all ages with your classes.
We do, and right now this is an exciting time because it's almost summer, and you know, most people have the summers off, but this is our busiest time, especially for kids and youth art. We have our summer art camp programs, but also for adults. It's kind of like art camp for adults in a way too. We have clay classes, drawing, painting, everything for everybody. I mean, we really believe at the Duluth Art Institute that art is for everybody, it's in everybody, and you know, we just try to tap that as much as we can.
Well, you are an awesome example of that. So thank you so much for coming over and sharing a little bit at a really busy time. I know you're packing up all those bowls on Saturday and bringing them over. So once again, Duluth's Empty Bowl project gets underway Monday with a preview night at the Duluth Depot. And if you want a soup with your beautiful bowl, the meals are served from 10 to 6:30 on Tuesday. And we'll be back with more jazz right after this.
I'm setting up for the Creative Control exhibit, and I thought that this would be an interesting title for this exhibit because there is no theme. Usually in group shows you have a theme, and I kind of just wanted people to bring down exciting work that they thought, you know, deserved to be shown. My name is Adam McCauley, and I'm a painter, and this is my work. I'm most excited about this style of work because it's new. It's interesting to me because I'm doing a lot of things that I normally wouldn't do. And before I couldn't do. I couldn't paint stripes before because I was like, oh, that's kind of boring. But now I find that each stripe in itself is like a mini painting, I think. I see it that way. We have Adam Swanson over here.
I think bicycles are great symbols of like human ingenuity and what something nice that we've created. And I like to put them in a landscape or anywhere, I guess, just to kind of bring that idea to the painting.
And then Lee England is going down the hall. I hope they come here and are really pleased with what they see and are excited about that this is just a snippet of the artists who work and live in Duluth.
See the way people come together and maybe work off of each other, maybe even sometimes work against each other a little bit, like, you know, oh, you're doing that, well, I'm going to do something else, that sort of thing.
There's so much excitement in the arts community here. I hope that's what they take away from here. There's 9 artists involved, and the opening is Friday, April 22nd, 6 to 9 p.m. at the venue at Mohaupt, 2024 West Superior Street, Duluth, Minnesota.
For details on events mentioned in the show and a few others, like a couple of theater openings this weekend, please check out our online calendar on our website. You can also keep up with the latest from the playlist through Facebook and Twitter. Now, the artwork in our studio tonight comes from Doris Sampson. This is her latest work. The big one is called Cosmic Sea, when we appreciate her sharing her new work and a fresh perspective with us. Now, please welcome back the Mark Anderson Trio. having fun too.
Oh, yes, yes.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the playlist.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your band. You want to introduce them for me?
Yeah, Mr. John Thorene here on the bass, and Mr. Marvin Pomeroy on the drums and percussion, various percussive aspects of things, yes.
Fantastic sound. Just fantastic. So
Yes.
that last song was called?
I called that one El Salto. I named it after a town that I visited on vacation a few years ago. It was up in the mountains north of, or outside of Mazatlan in Mexico. So.
And when you're composing, how do you leave room for improv when you bring it to these guys, or do you hear all the parts? How does that work?
Yeah, it's the songs are kind of a it's kind of a template, and actually this particular song, that's part of the reason why I was laughing, because we've had several different arrangements of it, and it seems like every time we play it, it's a different arrangement. So it's always fun.
It is fun when you play with people who really know their instruments, and you have a great team. So how long have you guys been playing together?
We've been about a couple years, I think, but we've played in other musical groups other than this particular little trio. So we've known each other for many years. Yeah.
So when can I see you? And first of all, are there recordings of your music out there?
Yeah, we have one CD that we did last year. It was a live CD recorded at Beaner's. We're going to do another one here next couple months. We're going to try to get a release, this summer sometime. And then I have a solo CD, solo guitar CD that I did just probably 8 years ago. So. But those are the only ones, yeah.
I have to tease you a little bit, because you've been called the best guitar player in northeastern Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Well.
And somebody said in the world.
Yeah, well, must be a small world.
Well, I'm really glad you came over to share it tonight.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be here.
And I know you play gigs around town, Beaners at brunch sometimes, and other places.
We do, yeah. We try to do, once a month at Carmody's Irish Pub, one of our favorite places to play, and once a month at the Brew House. And so just check the local papers, the listings, to see when we're playing. And then we do every other Sunday at Beaner's for a jazz brunch.
All right. Well, you got one more song for us.
Yes.
So thank you for that. And we'll be looking for that new release coming up later this summer. No pressure. Or maybe I should pressure you. So look for the Mark Anderson Trio playing a gig near you. And thank you for watching tonight. Now it's time for your turn to go out and explore the arts. Have a great weekend. Listen to some lovely music.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and by viewers like you.